Brought to you by paid sponsorship for the Grim Hollow Valakin Clans Kickstarter.
It'll be okay, Steve.
The Parish, a group of charlatans posing as a cult, were in the middle of something very illegal.
That's easy for you to say, Chuck. This bitch is cleaning me out.
The three members of the parish in the alley couldn't leave their post. The bluecoats were an obstacle and a threat. Left unattended, they would discover our daring scoundrels doing, well, this. But hidden in the obstacle was an opportunity.
I'm making payments on a house I don't even live in. She even took my dog, Chuck.
Any obstacle can be dealt with using any action. Actions are what most games would call skills, and this is important. The action used is chosen by the player, not the GM. The GM never rolls for NPCs, actions, or for threats. So the player's action roll resolves both sides of what happens. Unlike many games that have differing DCs, Blades has a set matrix of outcomes. Instead of changing the difficulty of the roll, the GM sets the position and effect. This isn't a position in space, it's a measure of how risky a chosen course of action is. How serious could the consequences be? There are three different positions: controlled, risky, and desperate. In this case, Buck decided to use the sway action, first to distract and then get rid of these bluecoats by giving them a hot tip on a gambling den nearby. Sounds risky to me. Then there's effect. This measures how effective the GM believes your proposed action could be. Think of this as a kind of narrative stand-in for damage. How much progress could this action make towards your stated goal? In this case, Buck is using sway to leverage Steve the Bluecoat's money troubles against him. Essentially, if it works, they'll go gambling. That feels like an extreme effect. Now let's talk about dice pools. You have the same number of dice as you have action dots. You can get an extra die by either pushing yourself for a little bit of stress or take a devil's bargain. Some complication happens regardless of the outcome of the roll. Buck decides to take a devil's bargain. The bluecoats will remember him. Being open-faced and friendly is going to help here, so he gets an extra die.
If a player is unhappy with their position, effect, and dice pool, they can back out and try something else. But if you're happy with your dice pool, position, and effect,
you roll all the dice in your pool and read the highest. If it's a 1 through 3, only bad stuff happens. If it's 4 through 5, bad and good stuff happens. If it's 6, only good stuff happens. 5 being the highest result, he got a mixed result. You succeed and also suffer some complications. In this case, it doesn't make sense for the bluecoats to get startled and attack, then go gambling. Also, a risky consequence is significant but not deadly, so Buck convinces them that yes, they should go out to this new hot gambling den. But they wouldn't go unless Buck went with them. It became clear that if he didn't, they would become suspicious, so Buck left his crewman down for the rest of the job. Buck could have resisted this consequence using another subsystem, but instead he chose to lean in, and we got a cool side story about Buck and these two cops going on a bender, all while his fellow scoundrels did whatever the fuck this is.
Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe, that whole thing. Also, this was brought to you by a paid sponsorship for the Grim Hollow Valakin Clans Kickstarter. It's a new set of 5 D&D compatible books from Grim Hollow. It's got heaps of story, new maneuvers, subclasses, background options, not to mention a survival and raiding system. If you want to do brutal adventures in the frostbitten north, then check out the links in the description.